Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish Gaming. This is Neon. We're going to talk about some gaming news, some big gaming news, I guess, if you follow video game journalism. The Escapist has fired their editor-in-chief, Nick Calandra, prompting further resignations. This is also the end of Yahtzee Croshaw, which surprised a lot of people. And we're going to talk about this, kind of where things are at right now with video game journalism and how far they've fallen in the last couple of years. And this year especially, we've seen massive changes in video game journalism. Lots and lots of layoffs, lots of journalists trying to make a case for why they should stay on staff. And some of them are okay, right? Some gaming journals are okay, but really it's not a very profitable venture for their parent companies. And they're being asked to do more and more and, make more money when right now the economics are not good. And, we do own a couple of websites. I think I mentioned before that we have a couple of websites that we've run for years. We cover gaming news and pop culture news. And I can tell you the ad rates are not good. So this is not a very good business model, especially for a company, a corporation that's looking to make profit off of covering video game news. And really, video game journalists have discredited themselves time and time again over the last 10 plus years. I mean, even recently with Hogwarts Legacy, with Kotaku taking pot shots at Nintendo and getting themselves blacklisted. And we're going to talk about that because actually some of those reporters have moved on to their own website now. And it's behind a paywall, I think. But let's talk about this. So before we get into it any further, give a sub to the channel if you have not done so already, guys. We've got gaming news, and we do gameplay videos. Check out our gameplay videos. They're a lot of fun. We actually have fun on this channel. And, frankly, channels like ours have more or less replaced video game news blogs. Now, there are some good ones out there still. I think, personally, Niche Gamer's pretty good. There are several out there that are still fairly reputable, but they tend to be smaller. The bigger sites out there, they've gotten mired in politics, and they've gotten mired in a lot of, internet drama. And a lot of people that are kind of tourists in the industry, they've come in and they've taken control of these websites and decided to use them as their own personal platform to push their own agendas. And we've got people that, clearly don't play video games, clearly don't like video games, seldom touch video games, can't play them, whatever, wanting to lecture people on how to play video games and what they should think. And usually it's not even about how to play video games. It's how the video game industry should be according to them, according to their political hot takes here. But Niche Gamer has a very quick story on it. We'll go out to Twitter and look at some tweets here. The Escapist fires editor-in-chief Nick Calandra, prompting further resignations. He said, "I was fired from the Escapist today. I have declined my severance pay and will not be signing an NDA." So I think he's going to spill the tea at some point. That's going to be really interesting. "I'm incredibly proud of everything my team and I have achieved over the last 4 years in the community that we built together, figuring out the next steps now and moving forward." After his termination, other workers from Escapist announced their own resignations, including Yahtzee Croshaw, who created the video game series Zero Punctuation. And he just put a video up a couple days ago, not even a week ago. And he's gone, man. He's gone. Despite being the creator, according to Croshaw, he doesn't own the rights to the name of the series or the rights to the series itself, which remains with the website. And this happens a lot, actually. This happens a lot. Here's another one. This happened with a lot of the guys with like Rooster Teeth and stuff, and people who had done different projects with networks. Sometimes they don't own their stuff anymore. This guy worked with a Design Delve. He said, "I've resigned from my position at the Escapist/Gamers in response to the treatment of my colleagues. I love this team and will stand by them. I personally own the license to Design Delve, and it will be continuing." Now, Gamers Group has apparently come under fire for pushing its editors, writers to use more AI. That might have been a factor in this. I mean, I'm sure Nick is going to spill the tea because he's not going to sign that NDA. But Gamers Group is pretty aggressive. And I've heard horror stories from different people working for different sites, but they own a lot of video game sites. They own probably the lion's share of video game sites out there. Them and Gizmodo owns a couple, I think. And whoever owns Giant Bomb now, I don't know who owns them at this point. But, lots of people getting laid off, right? People getting laid off from Kotaku, Washington Post. They shut down their gaming site. Vice shut down their gaming site. Now all these people are getting together and they're starting their own gaming site, but I think it's behind a paywall. So GamesIndustrybiz has Kotaku, Washington Post, and Vice alum form Aftermath. Founders Nathan Grayson, Gita Jackson, Riley McLeod, and Luke Plunkett launch a new independent publication. Now, Luke Plunkett, as I recall, is the guy who got Kotaku blacklisted from Nintendo. I think it's like, oh my God, dude. But, whatever. They said that we're inspired by the wave of worker-owned websites such as Hellgate, Defector, Remap Radio, Discourse Blog, and 404 Media, and I haven't heard of any of those. I'm sorry. They said that they're going to focus on breaking news, criticism, and analysis. Aftermath not only aims to put control back in the hands of the workers and put the focus back on serving readers, but also holds the volatile games and tech industries to account. Regarding the media layoffs, following the termination of the editor, Nick Calandra, on Monday. So they also on GamesIndustry.biz, it feels like these video game journalists are kind of writing their own obituaries. Why do games media layoffs keep happening? It's actually pretty dang easy. There's not a lot of money in video game news. There's not a lot of demand for video game news, at least not on these websites. So many websites have laid people off. Fanbyte and again, Giant Bomb. I mentioned that. GameSpot, not to be confused with GameStop. GameSpot. But a lot of times they don't see it coming. They just kind of lay off the creators. And I think just players have moved on. I think a lot of players have been alienated from video game journalism, modern video game journalism. Now, I'm not talking fanzines. I'm not talking like, as a kid, I used to read EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and that was fantastic. And these guys, you could tell they actually played video games. They loved video games. They did because they loved it. And then it became an industry. And then there was a lot of, people, again, coming into it that weren't really part of the scene. They were just passing through, getting their cred because they wanted to go work for like the New York Times or something. And so then we had that whole thing that happened. I don't know if I can talk about that. That thing that happened back in 2014 that put gamers on blast, and it was very trendy to attack gamers. Well, no gamer is going to give you the time of day. They're not going to read your damn website if you're attacking them. I mean, come on. But basically, the ad revenue cratered. That's what really did it, I think, this year. And the venture capital ran out. A lot of these sites were propped up with venture capital. A lot of, companies bought video game websites thinking they were going to flip them. They were going to make big bucks. And in the case of Giant Bomb and GameSpot and that cluster of group, I think it was, I forget who else was in there, like Comic Vine or something. There were a bunch of like nerd sites that were in this group. And like CBS sold them for, or bought them for like $500 million, and then they sold the sites off for like 1/10 of that. There's no money in this. People are going to individual influencers. They're trusting Twitch streamers. They're trusting YouTubers. They're trusting people they know actually play games and are going to give honest opinions and aren't on the take or don't have a political agenda they're trying to push or whatever. And I think Hogwarts Legacy this year really put a spotlight on just how corrupt video game journalists can be, that we had a group of them trying to tank a game simply because they didn't like J.K. Rowling. They didn't like her political views. They didn't like her Twitter persona or, stuff she was saying on Twitter. And it had nothing to do with the game. She gets paid, but she literally had, I got this directly from the lead dev on the game. She literally had nothing to do with the game. It was her licensing company made the deal and they approved stuff and whatever. She was vaguely aware that they were making a video game based on Harry Potter, and she gets paid for it. Of course she does, because that's the deal. But she wasn't involved in it, and they even had a trans character in it, which some people didn't think made a lot of sense given the time frame. But regardless, it was like they tried to go out of their way to be as accommodating as possible. And so many of these websites, a lot of them owned by Gamers Group, tried to destroy Hogwarts Legacy. And a couple of years ago, video game developers would have been freaking out. They would have been like, "Oh my God, we can't go against the video game sites. We can't go against them because the gaming journos, because they'll destroy us." And what happened was the opposite. It was like gaming journos hated it, and gamers were like, "Yeah, it must be pretty good if the gaming journos hate it, because we know these people just hate gamers and they don't speak for us." And the game sold very, very well. And it just became this massive tempest in a teapot where it became very obvious this year, I think more so than others, that video game journalists don't have a lot of clout anymore, because so many of them have been compromised, or so many of them have, political opinions, and it's politics first and games second, and people just want people to play games. They just want opinions on games. That's it. Is the game good? Show me the game. I want to play the game. Let's do a let's play. Talk about the game. Talk about the video game industry. Talk about the history of video games. I get so much more from YouTube watching, retrospectives and all that stuff on video games than I do from any of these publications. So yeah, it's no wonder that they're folding, right? And it's going to continue to happen. But the fact that people are actively jumping ship from the Escapist, it must be pretty bad, because there are not a lot of video game jobs out there. So we're going to keep an eye on this for sure. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Please do so. We're trying to build this channel up over here. So Clownfish Gaming, we cover gaming news, we do gameplay videos, and hopefully you guys will be back. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. If you like this content and want to see more, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And check out more videos on the channel, including Let's Plays and art and animation videos here on Clownfish Gaming.
Now he's just tasty, delicious, rotten flesh meat, which I can consume. Don't read into it too much.
Just like our museum, the cafe's open and Brewster is eager to serve. I don't think this was in the show. Run. Oh, you got splatted.
No. Wait,
oh, she was begging and you kicked her in the face.
I don't care.
Hey guys, Squid King here, and today we're in a...
Not girl boss at all. She is not a material girl.
She is not. Oh, it's Christmas time here in your mom. Nobody wants to join your mom.
What?
Like I can't even cook kid cuisine right. I would last about 2 minutes with Gordon Ramsay.
What? Where is he?
He's hiding. He's hiding from you.
Better.
Oh my God, you've got the axe.
Walker, does this look like Steven Universe? Let me punch him. Well, I'm just here for the wax. Right where you belong.
Get in the dirt.
Well, that was a combination of events I probably shouldn't have put together. Anyways, let's open this bottle too.
Chica Pinata. Is that official?
Oh, no.
There's a bootleg.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, it's Diamond Tool.
Let's make a farm.
Like and subscribe and buy my merch.
I mean, while you're here, you guys should really like and subscribe and buy our merch, all of which we have.
That is true. You can't run them carrying trash. You can get away with one F-bomb per PG-13 movie.
I wish I'd known that sooner.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this effer up.
Yes.